So, good day, everyone. Good afternoon in Nigeria. It is 12 p.m. and there will be no need for any countdown today. So, let me welcome everyone to today's event where we'll be talking about sorry, where we'll be talking about a career path in data science, machine learning, and AI. And it is an exciting thing to talk about, and it's something we should all get to know about. It is a knowledge everyone should have, or maybe not in this, but it should be applicable to almost anything you want to do. So, my guest speaker is Grace Omojola, and let me welcome her here. Hi, Grace. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, so please, can you introduce yourself and tell us about what we'll be doing today?
Okay, my name is Grace Omojola. I'm a data scientist, student of OAU, and yeah, that is it for now. Today we're going to be talking about the different career paths in data science, and I'll be chipping in out like get started in one or two of them. Yes, that is it. That's all we're doing today.
Okay, so at this point, I say we get on with it and I present your slide, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great.
Okay, so yeah, the topic is career paths in data science and machine learning. In data science, machine learning, and AI. And once again, my name is Grace Omojola. I'm the chapter lead of Google DSC OAU. I'm a team lead in AI Plus OAU, and that is like a data science AI community that you could join if you find that you're interested in any of what we're saying after now. I'm also a course member of IE OAU, and lastly, I'm a student of electronics and electrical engineering in Obafemi Awolowo University. You can find me on Twitter at Grace_Omojo. So if you want to like if you have questions after now or you just like to connect with me, please follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. So yeah, we already know the topic. We're talking about the different career paths in data science, machine learning, and AI. So before we actually continue, I'm going to be telling us what AI is, what ML is, what DS is. DS is for data science, ML is for machine learning, and AI is, I wrote AL here, it's a mistake. AI is for artificial intelligence, yes. So first, we talk about data science. According to Wikipedia, data science is an interdisciplinary field that uses scientific method, processes, algorithms, and systems to extract knowledge and insight from structured and unstructured data. The summary of all this is just the fact that data science is like data science is trying to get insights from data, trying to like understand things, trying to not just make prediction, trying to like understand stuff from data, like trying to make sense of data. That's what data science is all about. That is what all this paragraph is. Data science is related to data mining, machine learning, and big data. Of the three things we'll be talking about the data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Data science is like this umbrella that kind of like it's not an umbrella though, like because if I'm saying it's an umbrella, that means the rest are under it. But it's just like an intersection of everything. So moving on, machine learning enables a computer system to make predictions or take some decision without historical data using historical data. So machine learning is just like teaching a computer or a computer system. So it's teaching a computer system to make predictions from what has happened before with previous data. So like it's just like teaching a child to read, but then you're using instead of like having a teacher, you're teaching the system how to like read. You are teaching the system about this thing by using previous set of data. So in the future now, future does not mean future, but after like you've you fed the machine learning model with like previous data, it will not be able to like predict on new data or new occurrences that it has not that it didn't train it on. So machine learning uses an amount of structured and semi-structured data so that the machine learning model can generate accurate results and give predictions based on that data. Next, we're talking about artificial intelligence. I know that artificial intelligence, not just artificial intelligence, data science is also like a buzzword. AI this, AI that. We see all the sci-fi and where they talk about AI, AI, AI. So, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is basically the science and engineering of making intelligent machines, and or making another way to just put it, like a very much simpler way to put it is artificial intelligence is trying to like teach computers to have human intelligence or to be intelligent like humans. So artificial intelligence is related to anything that any task that involves teaching computer to understand human intelligence. It does not just include machine learning. Machine learning is a very, very big subfield of artificial intelligence because machine learning is the one way to give machines intelligence. Like it's like one of like the big ways to give machine intelligence, and one of like the biggest subset of machine learning and what is like booming in the AI world now is deep learning. And deep learning is also like a subset of machine learning because it still involves learning on previous data. But unlike other forms of machine learning, with deep learning you can perform deep learning on videos, you can perform it on pictures, you can perform it on audio and other things, also tests. So let me read from this slide. Artificial intelligence is related to the similar tasks of using computers to understand human intelligence. But AI does not have to confine itself to methods that are biologically observable. Machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence which enables machines to learn from past data or experiences without being explicitly programmed. So that is the difference between AI, ML, and data science. So the main part of today, we're talking about career paths in data science. And like I mentioned the other time, like data science is this huge part of everything that is it's not huge, like it is combining a whole lot of things, combining domain knowledge of the problem we are working with, combines data science, combine maths and statistics. So that is what data science is. So a data scientist is a professional responsible for collecting, analyzing, interpreting extremely large amounts of data. The data scientist role is an offshoot of several traditional roles, including mathematician, scientist, statistician, and computer professionals. So, like a data scientist needs to be somebody that have like background in math and statistics, computer science, IT, programming, and all, and also like domain and business knowledge that is here means that if you are working on like if you are working for a hospital, you need to have like adequate knowledge about what the data you're working on is. So if you're actually trying to like form a data science team, you don't necessarily have to like the data scientists don't have to be like also does not have to be the domain person, but in small companies where like or like in startups where they don't have resources for for a large team. The data scientist is usually also like the domain person. So usually if maybe you're working on a project, an hackathon, and you're trying to form a data science team, you should also try to get, if you're working on something that is health related, you should get somebody that is also working in that. Maybe you're working on cancer or you're working on something else. You should get somebody that is also in the field so that will bring domain knowledge about what you're working on. So the next career path is a machine learning engineer. So a machine learning engineer is a person in IT who focuses on researching, building, and designing self-running artificial intelligence systems to automate Okay. So a machine learning engineer is actually like somebody that is good with software, but then the person also have data science programming skills. So and something a very a part of data science, because earlier I think I mentioned saying data science is about trying to gain insight from data, and one of the ways to gain insight from data is by using machine learning to find. Machine learning is not only about predicting what future occurrences. Machine learning to also help to identify patterns in data with algorithms. So a huge part of data science is machine learning. And so now we are saying a machine learning engineer to also like we need like some data science programming skill, and also need to have advanced knowledge of machine learning algorithm than a regular data scientist. So a regular data scientist can just know how to use it, but a machine learning engineer is someone that actually knows the in total, the mathematics behind those machine learning models. Why a data scientist is just someone that knows how to use those models well, I tune them to like give the best results and all. The next is a data analyst. So a data analyst will sift through data and provide reports and visualization to explain what inside the data is hiding. So that's what data analysis is about. They have several tools that you can use, and you can in some way you can think of them as junior data scientists, or it's also one of like it's also, remember how I said a data science is like or a data scientist is like a very very huge role. So like data analysis is one of the first thing that you're supposed to like know as a data scientist. A statistician is what data scientists were called before the term data scientist existed. So before like there was a role called data scientist, most of what data science is about, some part of machine learning too, is basically statistics. So statisticians are professionals who apply statistical methods and model to real world problem. They gather and analyze and interpret data to aid many business decision making processes. Statisticians are valuable employees. So yes, that's what they do. They also like is their job is almost like, because if you see the definition for high level statistician, it is almost the same thing as like that of a data scientist. They gather, analyze, and interpret data. But then what they use is they use statistical methods. While a data scientist will use both statistical method and we also use machine learning and other tools. But statisticians use statistical method. But what they do is also very, very much alike to what like a data scientist does. Something that would be coming up, something that you note in all of these things is how similar like each of those words, like each of the roles are now similar data science, machine learning, and AI is. But if you actually like really think deep about it, there are very huge difference among like between them. A data architect ensures the next role is a data architect. They ensure data solutions are built for performance and design analytics application for multiple platforms. So the data architects try to like ensure that the solution you are building is almost something related to like data architect are almost related to like ML ops and all. In addition to creating new database system, data architects often find ways to improve the performance and functionality of existing system. An artificial intelligence engineer, that is the next role. They are responsible for developing, programming, and training the complex network of algorithms that makes up AI so they can function like human brain. So one thing about AI and about all these things is that apart from building model, apart from training stuff, they also like after training all these things, you also have to like put it out there for people to use. So artificial intelligence engineer is almost related to an ML engineer in the sense that, but we can't call them ML engineer because we've already said AI is not only about ML. They're also like their traditional AI methods and all. So artificial intelligence engineer is they develop programming and they also train complex network of algorithms that function as human brain. Those are what AI engineer does. Those are artificial intelligence engineer. Sorry, please give me 1 minute.
Okay.
The next is ML ops, and I think this no okay, that is not the last. So ML ops is a set of practices that MLOps is full for machine learning operations and it's actually a role, like a job role. So it's a set of practices that combine machine learning, DevOps, and data engineering, which aims to deploy and maintain ML system in production reliably and efficiently. So it's actually one thing that I think I mentioned. It is one already. It's one thing to actually have this machine learning model that gives you 100% accuracy in your data science coding environment, and another thing to actually have an app that also give like that same accuracy without any noise or without something breaking down and all that kind of stuff. So that is what ML ops are like. That is what that is what that role is about. They aim to like deploy and maintain ML system in production reliably and efficiently. So it's like a combination of machine learning, data engineering, and DevOps. The next role is data engineering. So data engineering are responsible for finding trends in data sets, developing algorithms to make raw data more useful to the enterprise. So these people like we didn't really we've not like we're not going to be able to talk about the data science process or what like data goes through before it actually becomes valuable. But the data engineers are like responsible for helping to find patterns in the data and trying to like make the data more useful because you can throw out a survey form to like thousands of people and they can fill it. Some people will feel, I don't want to say rubbish, but some people would feel stuff that maybe you are asking like you throw out the form to like set of adults and somebody feels that their age is that they are 1 year old and that is like very useless because you don't need that kind of data. So the data engineer is going to find trends in the data and return like a more useful the data in a more useful format, maybe not in the raw form that it was given. So this IT role requires a significant set of technical skills, including a deep knowledge of SQL database design and multiple programming languages. So those are like some of the top careers in data science. I was going to talk about business intelligence. I don't know how it is not there, but business intelligence is this part of data science that includes is basically about data visualization and some other stuff. So your employee gave you like data and you try to like visualize the data and make insights from the data and share it. So they usually work with business intelligence tools like Power BI, Tableau, Excel, and some other stuff like that. So I also have like a list of other careers that we will not be able to talk about. Just to like let you guys know that they're like broad, broad. They're like other like career paths that you can decide to go for if you decide to want to do data science, ML, or artificial intelligence. So there's domain expert. I must have mentioned this when I was talking about data science already. Domain expert is because data science is about working in real life. Like data science is about working on real life data sets like real life problems. So and real life problems have like they're in different domain. They can be in tech, they can be in health, they can be in education. So you actually need like in a data science team, you need someone that is bringing domain knowledge. So now that we're talking about data science, if you are like a doctor and you're probably thinking of how to like get into this, you could just like probably apply to come to startups or companies that are working on health related issues. And so that means I'm sure everybody knows that everybody can be like data scientists. So like there's a space for everybody in data science process. The another one is researcher. So the person would most likely most researchers are intern, but I'm sure there are researchers that are not intern. So look into they will look into what you are working on, the domain you are working on, ways to make your solution or your product better and all. We also have ethics. So these people are like there is this thing called AI ethics and all. They will help you make sure that you are gathering your data in legal way and you are not using the data wrongly, you are not sharing it with people that are not supposed to see it and all that stuff. So we also have software engineer. I already mentioned that after building like a data science model in like the environment you built it, the model still have to like go out to your solutions still have to like go out to people like probably in form of a software or even like a hardware product or an app. So you need software engineers to work on that. There's reliability engineer, there's interactive visualizer, more like a graphics designer. So these people would work on your visualization. It's actually wanting to know like the steps to work, to use the codes to write like to do a box plus. But then there's always this thing that somebody that has artistic feel we do to your song like maybe they help you with presentation and presenting those presenting the insights you got from those data. That is what interactive visualizer is about. Data collection specialist, data product manager, slash program manager, qualitative experts, social scientist, and analytics manager. So, and even after, like, apart from this one, there are still like other career like there's still other career paths that you can decide to go in data science. So I did say I was going to talk about like how to like get started in how to get started in some of the career I've mentioned. So one of the like easiest way to get started in either doing things with AI or data science is to actually like learn Python as a language first, and after that to go on to like learn data visualization library. You learn stuff like pandas, numpy, and other visualization libraries anyway, and stuff that will help you manipulate the data. Then you also go on to learn about machine learning algorithms, learn about statistics, and all. I actually have like an article about how to get started, how to start your data science career, something along that line. The link is on this slide, and I think if I will probably post the link to the slide to the article on how to get started there. So like there is a lot of things to learn because if you want to learn about data science, and data science is this very, very wide field that you almost won't probably like master, like you can't master everything because then there is statistics, there is mathematics, there's programming, there's machine learning and all. So but one of the easiest ways to start is to actually start by learning Python, like I've mentioned before, and machine learning libraries, Another good way to start is actually by learning like the maths behind machine learning, and another way to start is by learning statistics. The most important thing is the fact that you actually start. Yeah, so like you can start from anywhere. You can actually and that's something I've been coming to hear of and I've been coming to believe in is that roadmaps are not like the best. Like the best way to start is to find the way that, because somebody can come and say you should start learning with you should start by learning the statistics or the mathematical part of machine learning, and for somebody that is not enough in mathematics, they may just open the first textbook that they have access to, and that one can actually kill the vibe. But if you are like that person now, it would have been easier that you already learned about machine learning libraries, and you're able to even like use the machine learning before you go on to learn about the mathematics. At least that way you've actually seen practical, like you've practicalized it and you've seen what it can do. So learning the mathematics may not be hard, but then there's this person that loves mathematics and it's probably even not almost interested in programming, but the person knows so much math and all. So I can't actually really come here and tell you that I should start this way. So you could just probably look up everything I've mentioned. I've talked about statistics, machine learning, programming, and the one that actually come easiest to you, you can try. The most important thing, like I've mentioned before, is to actually start. And once you start and you keep at ease, like you continue to be consistent, you would see that you are going to make something out of it. Another way to like be consistent, another medium that will help you to be consistent is like join communities. Joining communities means that you would be in a place where you're getting support from a lot of people, and like it means that you be in a place where like you're in a place with like-minded individual and you'll be getting support from them. There are different communities to follow. Like you can check on Twitter, you can follow AI Advocates Community, you can follow Data Science Nigeria, you can follow Data Science Africa, you can follow Black in AI. In OAU, yeah, we have AI Plus OAU, we have Google Developers Club, we have IEEE OAU, and these communities usually like have like just the way SPE2 is also having this program about data science, they usually hold tutorials or bring experts to talk about stuff like that. Apart from just even the tutorials and programs, just the fact that you guys are in this group where you have someone to answer your questions and all can also help you keep on being consistent and seeing people's projects, so like what people are working on, people sharing their articles and stuff like that to also will help keep you motivated. And like some sites to follow, like for data science, yeah, machine learning, analytic video, towards data science on Medium, Stack Exchange, Reddit, data visualization, Quora, and stuff like that. I also like to chip in that if you are like starting with programming, if you are learning programming, there's no like need to like cram stuff. Like there's no need to like try to like you don't have to remember everything. You just need to like get the knowledge, get the idea of what the stuff is saying. You don't need to like be able to match syntax for word for word. If you are getting error in the error message, you get how to actually fix the error. If you can't fix it, you can always check Google or check Stack Exchange for what you may need. Yes, I think that is about that. So please try to follow some of these communities. References, like so to make this slide, I use like several link, and the last link in this page, getting started with data science, is the article I wrote about getting started with data science. Yes, so you can like check all of these links if you have the link to the slides, like to read more and to understand better on stuff that we've talked about. So thank you. Once again, you can find my address on Omojola if you have any question. If you are watching later and you have questions to ask. I think I'm done with it.
Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you. That was insightful. That was very well dedicated. Um, so if you have questions, please drop it and let's talk about your questions. Sorry, let me turn on feedback. Okay. So yes, let's discuss. Let's talk about your questions. So while we are waiting for questions from people, I would ask
Okay.
sorry,
Yes, fine.
how do you specifically choose a career path? Like, do you need to how do you prepare yourself to pick one? Because listening everything and seeing how well they all connect, people might get confused on which one they should actually do. So should they do all, or how do they pick something to do?
Okay, so like I mentioned, I think it's actually easier to like start with just data science because data science kind of like combines almost everything that like literally all of the roles that we've talked about. So you can start with data science, and to be honest, all of this, most of what I said actually like roles. If you are no, not everything are roles. Like something like AI engineer now is very different from data science. AI engineer is very different from data science. But like a whole lot of them are like they're just like roles of people on the data science team. So you can actually just wake up today and see like a a an advert or vacancy for like a data engineer, and you have the data scientist. You actually have like a lot of stuff that they're asking for. You just apply and bam, you're already like a data engineer and all. But for like wanting to do whether being an AI engineer, ML engineer, all these things, you just need to like consider your strengths and think about how good you are in mathematics. As an ML engineer, you really need to like understand a whole lot about the mathematics of machine learning. So if you know that you're not good with the maths and all, it's better you stick to data science. If you want to be a statistician and you don't know statistics, or you don't enjoy it as much as you enjoy programming, the programming part of data science, you can just do that. And another thing, like also something that actually made me like I didn't talk about a lot of things. There's like a natural language processing part of machine learning and all. So another thing that you could also use to choose is that some people, apart from making money, which is like a lot of people probably like choose to like learn about data science and about some stuff because of like a project they have in mind, something they want to build and all that stuff. So if like me, you want to like build something, so you just try to like think about what is like the career path that is close to what you want to do.
Okay, so yeah, um thank you for that. Someone just asked this. So yeah, you mentioned Python when you were talking, but there are other languages. There is R, which is designed for stats, and there are there's Java, there is all that stuff. So how would you say, or what would you advise people to start with, or how would you address the problem of the internal conflict of, oh, there are so many ones to pick from, so what should I do?
For data science, really, there are not like that many languages to pick from. They're like tools, they're like libraries, but it's just kind of like limited to JavaScript, Python, and R. I may be wrong, but like those are like the most popular languages that is for data science. The most popular being Python, followed by R, followed by JavaScript. So Python is beginner friendly. Python is what I would advise everybody to start with personally because it is beginner friendly and very natural, and you can Python is like Python is a language that like you can write almost like English. Like if you are trying to write like a control statement, and you're writing it as if you are saying the word. So that's why it's very advisable to start with Python. Yeah. Another thing about Python too is that there's no kind of problem, or there is no error you may be having in your Python code that somebody has not had already, and that the answer to the problem you want to solve is not already on Stack Overflow. When you Google it, it won't come, like it won't bring like a answer that you need. And that is because Python has like a very, very large community. So by learning in Python, it means that you will not be unnecessarily stuck in one place, because you can't figure out what to do, because there's like tons of resources. People are waiting on so many platforms to answer questions that beginners have. So Python is like a very, very good way to start.
Great, thank you very much. So, there are many pathways to start data science. People, I'm sure people know the importance of data, because just to ask and add something. you know Before, when we did not have so much data, people just go out to test the waters and see what works. But with the power of data now, you can now make more informed decisions. You can be sure of something before you start. So now there are so many ways to apply data science. There are so many resources. Some even argue that you can do data science with Excel, because it is a tool as long as you know what you're doing. So my question is, how do you pick the right pathway? How do you select the right resources, the right community? How do you not get smacked around, with so many information on the internet right now?
Okay, so while I was talking earlier, I actually mentioned something like there is no right pathway. There's only what works for you, actually. And to be honest, you actually have to like, I don't want to talk about, you actually have to like try stuff. Like, I don't know, until I probably tried watching Python videos. I never knew that I was someone that like enjoyed reading than watching videos. So like you have to like try. Like I prefer reading books and blog posts, like watching tutorial videos about. Actually, the way I take program is very different from school. I actually love watching videos for like schoolwork, but for Python, for programming, for data science, I actually prefer to read books and all. So to be honest, you actually have to find what works best for you. But something that is there is that there are like so many tools. Excel is also something that I should probably Excel is something that I should know how to use as a data scientist too. And there are like tons of stuff to learn. So you could just decide to like maybe start with programming, start with this, and another month or in 2 months' time you start to learn how to use Excel. And in another time, we start to learn about statistics, differential statistics. And that month, you can decide to start learning about mathematics, probability, calculus, if you don't already know those stuff, or like if you are not like a science, tech, and engineering student and all. Another month, because we are talking about pathways now, and like there's so much stuff to learn. So for me, I think I'll kind of like advise that you take like one part, learn it now, one part, learn it now, one part, learn it now. You can either start with everybody that I know, they either start with statistics, you start with ML mathematics, or you start with Python programming. But you actually have to like before you can actually raise your chest and say you're a data scientist, the amount of stuff you need to know is like a lot. So
Okay, so thank you for that answer. I guess that answers about everything I know people ask about data science. Okay, so in the absence of no other question here, I guess we would have to bring today's session to an end. So, any parting last remarks?
okay, so I have to, and I most likely already said them during like the talk. So if you are thinking of starting, please start now. Don't try to like don't try to give yourself excuse not starting. Start as soon as possible. If you don't have a laptop, start learning like hey, if you don't have a laptop, you can decide to like start learning about statistics and stuff like that. Yes. So don't try to like have any excuse that because if you are interested, it only makes sense for you to start now. And when you also start, my second advice is that you continue and be consistent. Like every single people that every single person that is great at what they do, the success comes from like being consistent because you can try to like learn Python today and you stop and next year you learn something else. It would not like it's not going to be fluid. You'll not be able to practice as a data scientist. So, but if you keep being consistent and you keep on learning and learning and learning and learning, you become a successful data scientist. Thank you. Or AI engineer or ML engineer or all the other careers we talked about.
Great. So thank you so much. And yes, that's true. We miss, 100% of the shots we never take. So best the best pathway is to just start something. So yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that, Grace. It was nice to have you here speak about career path in data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So
For having me too.
all right. So that will bring us to the end of today's session. I hope everyone enjoyed it and would be here again next week Saturday with another topic and another guest. So goodbye everyone and please enjoy your weekend.